Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am finally back with another Ankh Guardian, and this is Apep. Apep? Anyways, he looks like a big crocodile coming out of water. So of course we're going to start with the water first. Griff Charger Gray, which is a contrast paint. Yes, I could have used that blue shade from Citadel. I could have used the blue tone from Army Painter as well, but I decided to use this. So anyways, we're moving on to some Necromancer Cloak, and I took a huge brush and I'm just stroking it all over pretty much the bumpy parts of the body of this miniature and as you notice, I used Wolf Gray as a primer because it had like a blue tint to him in the artwork, plus gray, plus anyways, it was really cool. So I decided to try it like this. It came out, I think it's going to come out looking really well, yeah, there's nothing more I can say about that really at the moment. So don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and if you like these videos and you want to see some more Ankh Guardians painted, hit that like button. We're going to use a little bit of skeleton bone on the teeth and claws, and when you're doing miniatures like this, and sometimes you realize you got two of these in the set, right? So you paint this, you're like, why did I do the teeth and the claws first? This should have been like the last thing I painted, because I get wash over the teeth, I get other paints over the teeth, and I come back and touch them up off camera. I was like, why did I even think about using this first? Anyways, if you're painting these guys, do this step almost at the end, even after you put a wash on, or even if before you put the wash and you want to do a little bit of highlighting after, just use the same color and just go over these same spots again, just to make those colors just pop a bit more. Alright, now we're going to use a skin paint from Army Painters called Opal Skin. And this you can pretty much not even follow any kind of texture you want, because it's just the middle part of this crocodile guardian. Goes up his neck, down his chest. You don't have to be perfect with it, because there's other colors that are going to come in and blend into the grayish blue areas as well. So, and the wash is going to come in later also. So it's just paint the way you want to paint on this part. Right, now we're going to use a little desert yellow on the stones that he's holding on to, as well as the brick wall that's protruding out of the water. It's hard to tell what is stones, what is water, but I mean, just go with what you think is what, and also do a second layer of this paint because the blue does still come through a little bit. So once you dry it, let it dry a bit, you put on a second coat of desert yellow, and you're good to go with this color. Alright, next we're going to be using some mythical orange. This goes on parts of his jaw and around that opal skin, but I didn't realize how yellowish this was. It's less orange and more yellow, especially with the white or opal skin tone underneath it and around it. It made it a little too yellow. So I do use, I believe, I don't remember which one I used off camera, I forgot. I think it might be lava orange or something like that. And just go over this again, just to give it more of a reddish tone. And the second one I actually used Mars Red instead, just because it was this was still too orange compared to the artwork. And you can just, like I said, you can see I'm just dabbing it around his chin too, and his mouth there. Now I'm going to just do a quick dry brush of Ghoul Gray. This is a unique paint from the, I believe, Underdark paint set. And we're going to be starting off with the big part of this mini, and this is Dark Skin Wash. This is the darkest skin wash you get in the Skin Tones paint set. And as you can see, I hit some of the grayish parts and blue parts, and I was like, this looks really nice, and it blends in really well. So I decided to put it on the entire miniature, actually, except for the yellow part, of the desert yellow. And even though it's kind of weird, because it gave it a really gray tone. I couldn't understand why this wash, which seemed brown at first, came in here, mixed in these colors, and gave it a brown tone, which is a gray tone, I should say, which gave it exactly the color I was looking for this miniature. It's just perfect. Now, should I have done this first on the blue? Would have done the same thing. I might try it on the second one and see how that gives it out. Well, I might test some things out anyways. Now we're going to use a mid-brown wash on all that desert yellow, just to finish off those stones. Now we're going to do his eyes with a little bit of Xanatar blue. This is a very nice light blue that make the eyes really pop, so just don't be be generous with it. Now we're using a little bit of Vallejo water texture acrylic paint, and this is Mediterranean blue. As you can see, it goes on like a real paste. You can put it as thick as you want, as thin you want, but the point is that underneath will come through on the little layers that are not as thick, and will give it that depth of water look. So when it dries, and you'll see this when it's done, how the water effect comes through. Now what I did do though at the end is actually use some of the wolf gray again and did a quick dry brush over all the water, just to give it again more realistic tone to it. Alright, so there we go. Apep is painted and ready for the table. I hope you like these videos, and if you want to see more Guardians, hit that like button. And as you can see there, was what I was saying with the water effect, you can see the shine a bit. The skin color came out looking really good. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next one.